intuitively, you know that you could live in more alignment with your nature, with your natural state of being. And if you truly take this to heart and ask for this, you will feel your life just get easier. And easier is the right way to put this, more at ease. And it starts with one area in your life. You'll feel the less pressure, less stress when you live in more alignment with who you are and where you come from. And if there's any concern with where to start with this, you can always ask the question, where did we come from? What makes the most sense for us and how to be? Where did we come from in relation to relationships, diet, movement? What have we gotten away from? And when you truly want this for yourself and you take the time to ask, right? When you take the time to ask, you get clear on what that looks like for yourself. How do you feel? What kind of things do you do? What does that person do? How do you behave? Your brain will start to look for these changes that can be made. And you'll start to learn things that you didn't even know you needed to learn. And they become like these tools that you can use in your day-to-day life. And one example for myself is with intermittent fasting. Okay? I learned about intermittent fasting a couple years ago. And it was something that I feel like I always heard about it and was interested in it, but I never really applied it until a couple years ago. I was like, okay, let's just see what it's all about. I'll just not eat until noon, right? And man, I learned some things. I learned a different level of consciousness, really. Different level of consciousness, different level of focus, awareness. My ability to focus was the big one. Being able to dial in on something, drug-like, absolutely drug-like. And there was the focus side of it, and also within a month or two, my body shredded down like crazy. I didn't even stop. I was eating the same amount of food, but it was like my body got in this uber efficient mode where it got really good at using the energy that I gave it, where there was no fluff left over, right? It's like my body just got really good at using energy and I shredded down. Very interesting. And if you think about intermittent fasting, it is a very natural, primal tool. It's a survival mechanism for us, right? You think about where we came from. Okay, when you get up for your day with your tribe, right, way back then, and you get into your day more and more, and you haven't eaten, that survival mechanism kicks in. That survival mechanism kicks in to where you gotta focus up, you gotta find some food, or else that's it, right? And that's a natural tool that now we can use to work on other things, right? And it feels very intuitive when you practice it. At least it does for me. A more recent example, which is interesting, right? Getting more in alignment with nature. I can feel the difference right now between when I eat inside, when I eat my meals inside, and I'm on my computer, clicking through YouTube videos, consuming content, as opposed to when I eat outside with no distractions and just quiet in nature, right? I can feel my state of mind, the difference between those two. And it is no small thing. It is no small thing. Outside, eating my meals outside where it's quiet, there is an unraveling of the mind and a creativity that comes from that, which is really wild. And it's one of those things where naturally, intuitively, I felt that pull come, right? I felt a pull to make that change. I was tired of sitting inside and having that neurotic, chaotic feeling after I'm done eating, or my mind is just kind of fried from watching videos, right? And when you start to discover some of these changes that can be made, and I heard this quote, which makes a lot of sense about this, right? Because naturally, we know what needs to be done. We know what we could do, but it's the doing it. And the discipline of doing it doesn't come from force, right? It doesn't come from force, got to do this. But it comes from clarity. So it's getting clear on these things. Why do you want that, right? Why do you want to make those changes? And that's what it is. When you truly want these things, the discipline comes. The discipline will come. And once you get a little taste for living in more alignment in one area of your life, right? You find one way to live in more alignment there in that corner. And you feel the ease that comes with that. Oof. There's no going back after that, okay? When you feel that ease, when you hear the grind, and you do that, and you learn that, oh, it's not that. Oh, okay. It doesn't have to be that. Okay. That's nice. That's really nice. And when you can live with a new proximity to the present moment and not be constantly harassed by the future and the past and, okay. Yeah. That's nice. Okay, now makes more sense. Now does make more sense.